Questions about Iraq, past and present, loom large following this weekend's ISIS takeover of Ramadi, and after former Florida Governor Jeb Bush stumbled over the Iraq invasion question several times last week. Tonight, Chief Political Correspondent Carl Cameron with how Republican candidates are handling the Iraq question.
With questions about the past in Iraq and the future worldwide consuming the 2016 debate, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie in New Hampshire said it's time to rebuild the U.S. military and its role in the world.
When the world faces its darkest moments, we use our strength and resolve to light a fire. When a threat appears from over the horizon, our country gets ready. Not when that threat arrives on our doorstep or when it's popular in public opinion polls.
Polls show most Americans oppose the government's mass collection of electronic communications data without a warrant. But Christie, a former U.S. attorney, said voters should trust Washington.
Let's be clear. All these fears are exaggerated and ridiculous. When it comes to fighting terrorism, our government is not the enemy. And we should not be listening to people like Edward Snowden, who is a criminal.
On the other end of the GOP spectrum, Rand Paul promised to do whatever it takes, including a filibuster, to prevent Congress from reauthorizing the Patriot Act, which allowed the warrantless surveillance. He challenged those defending the Iraq invasion to defend its consequences.
I think when Hussein was toppled, we got chaos. We still have chaos in Iraq. I think it emboldened Iran. I think we now have the rise of radical Islam in Iraq as well.
GOP hawks call Paul an isolationist, particularly South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who will officially join the race 2 weeks from today, and has told insiders that blocking Paul's candidacy is a big motivation.
I will make an announcement on June 1st. I'm running because I think the world is falling apart. I've been more right than wrong on foreign policy.
Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush admitted over the weekend that his evolving answers were a misstep on the Iraq war question. Knowing what we know now, would you have done things differently?
We're all going to make mistakes. If you're looking for a perfect candidate, he probably existed 2,000 years ago.
Questioned on Fox News Sunday, Marco Rubio, a Bush protege turned rival, put it this way.
It was not a mistake for the president to go into Iraq based on the information he was provided as president. Today, we know if the president had known that there were no weapons of mass destruction at the time, you still would have had to deal with Saddam Hussein, but the process would have been different. I doubt very seriously that the president would have gotten, for example, congressional approval.
As long as American service members are in harm's way over in that region, the question's probably not going to go away. Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal formed an exploratory committee today and plans to get in the race in the last week of June. There are at least 5 more candidates, including Bush, Scott Walker, and John Kasich, all planning to formally announce their candidacies before the middle of July. Brett.
Field's getting bigger. Carl, thank you.